Good evening, all of you. So, another reaction mechanism. In the last class, so we discussed about we are discussing about the electronic displacement. It is classified into two types: permanent electronic displacement, temporary electronic displacement. Permanent electronic displacement having the three types: inductive effect, hyperconjugation, and a resonance effect, right? And we are moving with the inductive effect initially. Okay, right, right. Inductive effect. Inductive effect. So what is inductive effect? We discussed in the last class. It is classified into two types: plus inductive effect, minus inductive effect. For example, see, if X is more electronegative, if X is more electronegative than carbon, then electrons are transferred into this side. Then this is electron withdrawing group, nothing but the minus inductive effect. On the other hand, if Y is less electronegative than carbon, then Y provides electrons to carbon. Y provides electrons to carbon, and this is called minus inductive effect or electron releasing group. Electron releasing group. So these things we discussed in the yesterday. And the inductive effect is classified into two types. Which groups comes under the inductive effect? Which group plus inductive effect? And which groups comes under the minus inductive effect? These are electron releasing groups or electron donating groups. These are electron withdrawing groups. So now I will write some orders of the organic compounds, right, which is more stable, which is a greater electron releasing group. Right, see here, CH2 minus can donate more number of the electrons than NH minus, then O minus, then C double bond O minus, then tertiary compounds, secondary compounds, then ethyl compounds, then CT3. T is the isomer of hydrogen, tritium. Then CD3, deuterium. Then CH3, methyl. Then tritium, deuterium, and finally the hydrogen, which is considered as the reference. So these three are the isotopes of hydrogen. These are the some of the electron releasing groups which are ordered in the decreasing order of the electron releasing group property. So here CH2 minus acts as a strong electron releasing group, whereas the hydrogen acts as the weak electron releasing group. On the other hand, in the minus inductive effect or electron withdrawing property, similarly, minus NF3 plus is strong electron withdrawing group, means greater electronegative group, which can withdraw electrons readily from the adjacent atom, which is greater than NCl3 plus, NCl3 plus, which is greater than NR3 plus, where R is the alkyl group, which is greater than NH3 plus, NH3 plus, then which is greater than nitro, then cyano, then sulfur compound SO2R, next aldehyde, then ketone, then acid, then halides. Fluorine is greater than chlorine, greater than bromine, greater than iodine, greater than OR, greater than OH, greater than triple bond, greater than phenyl, greater than double bond, and greater than hydrogen. Again, it is the reference atom, right? So inductive effect is classified into two types: plus inductive effect, which contains the electron releasing groups, which release the electrons to the adjacent atom. Second one is the minus inductive effect, which contains electron withdrawing groups, nothing but more electronegative groups, right? So this is the order of the decreasing order of the electron withdrawing property, decreasing order of the electron donating property or electron releasing property. Now, based on this, we will discuss about the applications of the inductive effect. Means what inductive effect gives. Based on the inductive effect, what we are going to find out. Right? Next. Applications of inductive effect. Applications of inductive effect. Right. Okay. Applications of inductive effect. Applications of inductive effect. What are the applications we are going to deal? The first one is stability of intermediates. Stability of intermediates. The first application in under this. So a set of intermediates are given and ask you to find out which is most stable intermediate, like carbocation, carbanion, right? The second one, reactivity of alkyl halide, reactivity of alkyl halide or X, reactivity of alkyl halide. And the third one, the reactivity of carbonyl compounds, reactivity of carbonyl compounds. Fourth one, reactivity of alcohols, reactivity of alcohols. Fifth one, acidity of organic compounds, acidity of organic compounds. And finally, sixth one, basicity of compounds. So these are the applications generally gives, means So how inductive effect influence the basicity of organic compounds, acidity of organic compounds, reactivity of carbonyl compounds, alcohols, alkyl halides, and finally, how it influences the stability of intermediates. Right? First, about the stability of intermediates. First, about the stability of intermediates. Stability of intermediates. Generally, see intermediates are two types: carbocations and carbanions. Generally, there are free radicals also, but free radicals, carbocations are comes under the same umbrella because those two are electron deficient. So, if we discuss the carbocation, that will applicable for the free radical also. Therefore, I am focusing on the carbocation. Right here, the intermediates are majorly classified into two types: carbocation with a positive charge. The second one is carbanion. Second one is carbanion with the negative charge. With the negative charge. Right. So types of intermediates, stability of intermediates we are going to discuss. This is classified into two types: carbocation and carbanions. Among these two, first about the carbocation. Stability of carbocation. Stability of carbocation. Stability of carbocations. Stability of carbocations. Right. In the stability of carbocations, first, what is a carbocation? What is a carbocation? The species with a positive charge. Carbocation is nothing but the species with a positive charge. Next, carbocations are electron deficient species. Electron deficient species. Right. Now, how the inductive effect influences the stability of carbocation? Stability of carbocation. We will explain with some example right here. CH3 plus methyl cation. The second one is CH3 CH2 plus ethyl cation. Methyl cation and ethyl cation both are the carbocations. Positive charge and positive charge. Now my question is, among this ethyl and methyl carbocations, which is the stable carbocation? And how will this inductive effect decides which is more stable carbocation? Right, see. So coming to the first one, methyl carbocation. So we know that any species with charge is less stable than without charge. Means charged species are less stable than the neutral species. Right? This concept we discussed yesterday. Right? This methyl carbocation with the positive charge means this is less stable. Whether it is now we need to test it can be stabilized or not. Means once it is there bearing the positive charge means it requires some electrons. It requires some electrons. But the carbon is surrounded with the three hydrogens. The carbon is surrounded with the three hydrogens, like C. Three hydrogens and having a positive charge. The hydrogen is neither electron releasing group nor electron withdrawing group. Means the influence of the hydrogen on this carbocation is negligible. Therefore, the carbocation is not stabilized by the any external factor. Right. So it is not stable for a while. Coming to the ethyl carbocation. Now see here, this is also bears the positive charge as it bears. Means if it is neutralized, then it is said to be stable. When it is neutralized, if it receives electrons from any species, right? See, we know that methyl, just now we given the classification, right? Methyl is electron releasing group, nothing but the plus inductive effect, plus inductive effect. Electron releasing group means it releases the electrons. Now the methyl is providing or transferring electrons toward the CH2, which is electron deficient, receives the electrons given by the CH3, and there is a chance of converting into neutral species. Neutral species. When it is converted into neutral species, then it is said to be stable. Then it is said to be stable. So therefore, among these two, which is more stable? The ethyl carbocation is more stable due to the plus inductive effect. Due to the plus inductive effect. So finally, I can write this. Finally, I can write as stability of carbocation. Stability of carbocation. Stability of carbocation is directly proportional to strength of electron releasing group. Strength of electron releasing group. Nothing but the plus inductive effect. Plus inductive effect. So once the stability of carbocation is directly proportional to strength of the electron releasing group, inversely proportional to the electron withdrawing group, nothing but minus inductive effect. Means the presence of the electron withdrawing group decreases the stability of carbocation. The presence of the electron releasing group increases the stability of carbocation. Right. I will give an example for it. I will give an example for it. Same here. CH3, CH2 plus, what we discussed with ethyl carbocation now. This is the first substance, first compound. The second one is the methyl carbocation having the NO2 group. This is a primary carbocation and this is also a primary carbocation. Now this is given as 2. Among the compounds 1 and 2, which is more stable carbocation? Carbocation 1 and carbocation 2. That will be decided by the group attached to carbocation. Methyl group is electron releasing group. Therefore, it provide electrons to the carbocation and it will be stabilized. The nitro group, what happens? Actually, it is already deficient and the nitro group withdraws because the nitro group is electron withdrawing group, that is minus inductive effect. Still, again, it withdraws electron from the CH2 plus, which is then destabilized. Destabilized. Therefore, here the compound 1 is more stable. The carbocation 1 is more stable than the carbocation 2, right? So therefore, finally, the stability of carbocation directly proportional to the plus inductive effect. As the plus inductive effect increases, stability of the carbocation increases. As minus inductive effect increases, stability of the carbocation decreases. Stability of the carbocation decreases. Right. Some examples. Some example. Example 1. Example 1. Right. CH3, CH2 plus. Next, CH2 double bond CH plus. Third one, CH triple bond C plus. Compound 1, compound 2, compound 3. See here, all are carbocations. All are carbocations. Now tell me, among compound 1, 2, and 3, which is more stable? Which is more stable carbocation? Right. See, as we discussed yesterday, that this is sp3 center, hybridized center. This is sp2 hybridized center, and this is sp hybridized center. As a percentage of S character increases, electronegativity also increases. Electronegativity also increases. Now see here, in the compound 3, the percentage of S character is more, therefore, which is a strong electronegative group, which is a strong electronegative group. Once it is a strong electronegative group, which can be considered as strong electron withdrawing group, nothing but minus inductive effect, minus inductive effect. And coming to the first one, this is weak electron withdrawing group. Therefore, once it is a weak electron withdrawing group means it stabilizes the carbocation more than this, right? So from left to right, what happening? From left to right, what happening? Electronegativity of carbocation, electronegativity of carbocation increases. Electronegativity of carbocation increases. As electronegativity of carbocation increases, stability of carbocation decreases, because stability of carbocation is inversely proportional to electron withdrawing group. Stability of carbocation is inversely proportional to electron withdrawing group. This is the example 1, right? If they ask in the examinations which is more stable, so always the carbocation which is attached to the single bond is more stable. The carbocation which is directly attached to the single bond is more stable, as it is sp3 hybridized and less electronegative. Less electronegative means more electropositive. More electropositive means electron releasing group, right? Okay. This is the example 1. Next. Example 2. Example 2. Okay. Right. Right. Among these 3 compounds, which is more stable? Which is more stable? We discussed this concept yesterday. As ring size, as a ring size decreases, as the ring size decreases, electronegativity increases. As ring size decreases, electronegativity increases. This is a 5-membered, this is a 4-membered, this is a 3-membered. Now see here, from left to right, what happens? The ring size is decreasing. Ring size decreasing. Therefore, electronegativity increases. Electronegativity increases. Therefore, what happens? Once electronegativity increases means stability of the respective carbocation decreases. Stability of the respective carbocation decreases. Right? So here, the 5-membered carbocation is more stable than the 4-membered carbocation, and finally 3-membered carbocation is less stable because it is more electronegative. More electronegative means more electron withdrawing group, minus inductive effect. Minus inductive effect decreases the stability of carbocation. Decrease the stability of carbocation. Right? Okay. Next. So this is about the carbocations. I can write one more. Say CH3 plus. We discussed already this example. but I have to give this CH2 plus CH3 CH3 H plus, that is CH, and finally CH3 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 plus. Primary carbocation, secondary carbocation, and tertiary carbocation. Now, which carbocation is more stable? Means, see here, we know that inductive effect, which inductive effect? Plus inductive effect increases the stability of carbocation. Plus inductive effect increases the stability of carbocation. Here, how many number of plus inductive effect groups there in the primary? No. Here, it is containing 1. Here, 2. In this case, we have 3 plus inductive effect groups are there in the tertiary. Therefore, the tertiary carbocation is more stable than the secondary. Secondary carbocation is more stable than the primary. And finally, methyl carbocation. The reason is here, as electron releasing group increases, here it will be neutralized readily. It will be neutralized readily. Then once it is a neutralized means, so that is a stable. That is a stable compound. So this is about the carbocations. Next, carbanions. Next one is carbanions. So under the stability of the intermediates, we will discuss about the stability of carbanions. Stability of carbanions. Stability of carbanions. Right? Okay. So the carbanions are, what are the carbanions? Which bears negative charge? Which bears negative charge are generally carbanions, and the carbanions are electron excess species. Electron excess species means it contains more number of electrons. The electron density will be more at the carbanion. Carbanion. With example, we'll discuss with some examples. Same what we discussed earlier in the case of the carbocations. The case of the carbocation. Sorry, carbanion. Right, same. Ethyl carbanion, methyl carbanion. Ethyl carbanion, methyl carbanion. Among these two, which is more stable? Among these two, which is more stable? Carbanion. Right. So negative charge indicates excess electrons. Negative charge indicates excess electrons. Right. If the charge over the carbanion will be neutralized, then it is said to be more stable. Then it is said to be more stable. Means under which conditions this negative charge will be neutralized? When the CH2 minus will donate electrons to the other species. Because it is having excess electrons, it has to donate electrons to the neighboring species. Then there is a possibility of stabilization. Here also the same issue. But see here, in the first compound, the CH2 minus is directly proportional to the methyl group, which is a plus inductive effect. Which is a plus inductive effect. Now see here, methyl donate electrons to the CH2 minus. Already there are excess electrons are there. Again, it is contributing some electrons towards the CH2 minus. Then what happens? This is destabilized. This is destabilized. Actually, it should donate electrons to the other species. but the group adjacent to it is electron releasing group. It is releasing electrons. It becomes more excess. So destabilizing. Now is CH3 minus, neither it is donating electrons nor it is accepting electrons because hydrogen not influence anything. Therefore, here it is having only excess electrons. Therefore, it is more stable. It is considered as more stable than this because it is having more excess electrons, but it is having only excess electrons. Excess electrons. Therefore, it is considered as the most stable carbene ion. Most stable carbene ion. So finally, I can say that. Finally, I can say that stability of carbene ions. Stability of carbene ions is inversely proportional to electron releasing group. Is inversely proportional to electron releasing group. Therefore, stability of carbene ions directly proportional to the electron withdrawing group. Electron withdrawing group. Right? So under this we will discuss some examples. Under this we will discuss some examples. Same here. CH3, CH2 plus, sorry, CH3, CH2, sorry. Right? So example, same what we have considered for that. Now see here, carbene ions with different ring-sized compounds. Now see here from left to right what happens. Left to right what happens. Ring size decreases. The ring size decreases means electronegativity increases. As the electronegativity increases means, the stability of carbene ions is directly proportional to electronegative groups. Therefore, stability of carbene ions increases. Stability of carbene ions increases because the stability of carbene ions is directly proportional to electron withdrawing group. Stability of carbene ions are directly proportional to electron withdrawing group. Now see here, this is more electronegative compound. More electronegative compound means strong electron withdrawing group. Strong electron withdrawing group. Once it is a strong electron withdrawing group, then the stability of the respective carbene ion will be more. So therefore, the stability of the carbene ions is reverse to that of the stability of the carbocation. Right? Cyclopropyl anion is more stable than the cyclopentyl carbene ion. Cyclopentyl carbene ion. Right? So stability of carbene ions, and I can have one more example, right? CD3, CT3, CH3, CD3 minus CT3 minus CH3 minus, right? All are the primary carbene ions. But here, what happens here? Hydrogen, tritium, deuterium, the isomers of the hydrogen. Among these three, which is more stable carbene ion? Among These three, which is more carbene ion. Right, see here. Right, see here. Generally, these three are the electron releasing groups. Electron releasing group. We discussed in the orders, right? Electron releasing property of these three are CT3 is more stable, more strong electron withdrawing group than CD3, and finally CH3. Strong electron releasing group, weak electron releasing group. Weak electron releasing group, strong electron releasing group. Then see here, once it is a weak electron releasing group, therefore strong electron withdrawing groups, weak electron withdrawing group. Now see here, once it is a strong electron withdrawing group, can increase the stability of carbene ion, increases the stability of carbene ion, increases the stability of carbene ion. Therefore, so it is A, it is B, it is C. Among these three, which is the more stable carbene ion? Stability order. Stability order. Among these three, which is more stable carbene ion? C is more stable carbene ion because as it is a weak electron releasing group. Electron releasing groups decreases the stability of carbene ion, right? Decreases the stability of the carbene ion. Therefore, C is more stable. Then followed by the CD3, deuterium. A is more stable, and finally B. So as B, CT3 is a strong electron releasing group, which destabilizes the carbene ion, which destabilizes the carbene ion. So like that, we can write the stability of any compound based on the inductive effect. Either it is the plus inductive effect or minus inductive effect in terms electron releasing group or electron withdrawing group, right? So this is about the stability of carbocations, sorry, stability of intermediates, stability of carbocations, stability of carbanions, right? Next, second one, second application, application number two. Application number two. What is the second application? Reactivity of alkyl halide. Reactivity of alkyl halide. Reactivity of alkyl halide. So generally, what is a alkyl halide? What is a alkyl halide? So that is a hydrocarbon in which alkyl halide is a hydrocarbon in which one of the hydrogen is replaced by the halogen. One of the hydrogen is replaced by the halogen, right? So in general, these are represented as RX. R is the alkyl group, where X is any halogen from fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, etc. Right. Now here the reactivity of alkyl halides. Reactivity of alkyl halides. How, which alkyl halide is more reactive? Which alkyl halide is more reactive? Right. I will write some type of the alkyl halide, means tertiary alkyl halide, secondary alkyl halide, primary alkyl halide. Now see here, first CH3X, primary alkyl halides, CH3, CH, CH3X, secondary alkyl halide, CH3, C, CH3, CH3X, tertiary alkyl halide. So among all these three, which is more reactive? Which is more reactive? Right, see here, in this what happens, carbon is directly attached to the halogen, which is more electronegative atom. Therefore, what happens, once the CH3 is electron releasing group, CH3 is electron releasing group, which donates electrons to the more electronegative halogen, more electronegative halogen. Therefore, what happens, the electron density decreases at this carbon because all the electrons are transferring towards the halogen. Then automatically what happens, there will be a cleavage of the bond. Cleavage of the bond takes place. Once it is cleavage, that can be considered as less reactive. But in this case, in the secondary case, what happens means here, similarly, the CH group, electron releasing group, donate electrons to the more electronegative halogen, more electronegative halogen. But now what happens here, this carbon is surrounded with the two electron releasing groups, which can donate electrons to the this central carbon. Then what happens here, electron density will be increases. Electron density will be increases. Once the electron density at this center carbon increases, then it results a permanent dipole. It results a permanent dipole between the carbon and hydrogen. Once it is receiving electrons, and these electrons are again transferred into halogen. Means here it's showing some reactivity. It's showing some reactivity. In the tertiary case, what happens? So once it containing the 3 electron releasing groups when compared to the here. Now the electron density at the central carbon will be very more. Then again, the dipole between the carbon and halogen will be increases. Right? It maintains a permanent dipole bond. Means the transfer of electrons will be continuous towards the more electronegative atom. Therefore, here the tertiary alkyl halides are more stable than the secondary alkyl halides, and finally primary alkyl halides. The reason here is because in the tertiary alkyl halides it contains 3 electron releasing groups. The electron density at the carbon center increases and leads to a permanent dipole. Therefore, it is more reactive, followed by the secondary and primary. Right? So this is about the reactivity of alkyl halides. So in the next class, we will discuss about the remaining applications of the inductive effect. So please do practice and have a look over it. Right? So thank you. Good night.